Chris here, back at SHOT Show 2025. We're back over here at the Triggertech booth. We're here with Matt, who designed the brand new, we're launching it right now, right? Or
yep.
not they're talking about it now.
Yeah, we're
launching soon. And you guys will hopefully, as long as you comment down below, do the boosting, all the things. We may be able to get these things as the launch at the range. So, Matt, tell me about what makes this thing different, because it doesn't look like anything being done right now.
Right. So, I think the fundamental aspect of the trigger is that we started from the ground up. If we start from the ground up, then that allows us to engineer, everything that we need in the gun to make it feel like a Triggertech trigger. So, like if we start from the front, one of the things that we did is instead of having the firing pin, the blocker, having that integrated with the transfer bar, it's on its own pivot. It's the same pivot as the trigger lever, and when you pull it, it lifts the firing pin straight up. It's like a straight up lift.
Oh, instead of dragging.
Instead of dragging it across. So basically, the normal one will kind of come across like that and drag, and this will just be a clean lift. So it'll eliminate any weird feeling when it comes to
that gritty, draggy kind of
anything like that. The other thing we did is the safety lever on the front. Normally the Glock has a safety blade. We looked at it and go like, is there a way where we can maintain the safety that the Glock has, meaning that the lever locks with the frame without having the safety blade? So we came up with this system where the whole lever is the safety. So basically when you rotate the whole safety, the whole blade, then basically you unlock it from the frame and then you fire the trigger. So it does exactly the same what the original Glock safety does, but you don't have the safety blade in the front.
So instead of having that little dingus that has to move
That's
up,
right.
It's the actual shoe that actually functions as the dingus.
That's right. So the whole shoe functions as the dingus, and actually the trigger lever is inside. And when you depress it, you make contact, and that's when you start moving everything back.
Okay.
So everything starts moving back, contact, and then you move it back, then you fire it. So that's to kind of like make the front end as clean, and that it's not there's nothing draggy, nothing creepy, no creep, nothing going on there at all.
Right.
The other thing is we made it really configurable, so you can take this pin out and you can put a different spring in, so you can play with how much take-up you want. So you can have a light take-up. Some people want light take-up. Some people want a heavier take-up. It's up to you what you do.
Okay.
And also in the kit we include a lighter firing pin plunger spring. When you put that in, it will decrease the overall pull weights, so that you get much lighter pull.
Okay.
So less poundage there. So then we move to the back. So this is a whole drop-in trigger module that basically you take out the old stuff. You don't use any of the old stuff. You drop it in, and essentially it's got the same roller technology as any of our other gun triggers. And then I can do this, and you can see the roller right there. So when I pull back on this, boom, the roller drops like this, right? So let me do it right, sorry. One more time. Ready? Bang. 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 That's the roller shot. Boom.
That's awesome.
And then here's the reset. So in a reset condition like this, you'll see it. So you can see the reset right there. So you click up. There's the reset. You shoot again. So that gives us that short reset, right? When you pull the trigger, you can actually see right here the roller actuates, and basically the sear drops and releases the firing pin lunges. That gives us this like very crisp break that you have, like when you come to the wall, there's no creep, there's no mush, there's nothing there that prevents you from just breaking that shot perfectly. And the reset is really short, so it's very short reset, and you're back on it again, so you can shoot fast, you can shoot accurate, and basically transforming the gun into something that it didn't have before, that ability to shoot very accurate, very fast.
Yeah, it's a really nice feeling trigger too. Like, I mean, just there's that little bit of take up, and then just straight to the wall.
Right,
and
that's
then
right.
Resets just unbelievably short.
And the only other thing that you have to do is you have to take out your original back plate and swap in this back plate. It's a drop in, you just drop it in, and that is basically our disconnect module. So the transfer bar interacts with this divot here, like many famous firearms, 1911, a lot of them have a divot. When you basically are out of battery, you can't fire it. When it comes into battery, that divot allows the disconnector to come up and basically allows you to fire it again. So we did the same thing here. Instead of having a connector and having this like weird spring on the side, it's just a clean that the transfer port just jumps up and engages the trigger module directly. So
it's basically either it allows it or it is not allowed.
That's right.
Because it can't move at all.
That's right. And then it's very clean. It does, you know, again, the connector, a lot of the aftermarket triggers use the connector. That will again induce drag, that will again induce like a feel, the mushy feel. This allows us to take away all that stuff. And then one more thing, it's adjustable here in the back too. So the spring has our clicker system that we have on our clickers. So you just click away, you have about a pound of adjustment in the back here.
All right.
A pound of adjustment in the back here. And then in the front here, you got another pound of adjustment on the springs. And then we also include a firing pin plunger spring that is lighter, so that allows you to drop the weight even further. So the total range is about 2.5 pounds to 5.5 pounds of adjustment.
Wow. So those of you that are looking more for a duty trigger can add that in and I'll get all the way up to that 5.
Yes.
The competition guys drop it all the way down
yes,
to 2.
Absolutely.
And still it's not really changing the way that the striker interacts at all with the trigger. It's just the ability of it being released is the only difference.
Like essentially if you have a Glock, when you fire it and you're holding the trigger, the striker is fully cocked.
Right.
And so at that point you just go to the reset and you fire again. We basically have it fully cocked all the time. When you rack the slide, it's fully cocked. And then when you pull the trigger, you come to the wall, you just release the striker. And that's it. You don't have to mess around with lighter striker springs. You don't have to mess around with anything. Technically speaking, you can take a stock Glock, you just take out the 2 pins or 3 pins, depending on which gen, take out the original trigger module, drop in our parts, and you'll have a crisp 3.5 pound trigger right out the box.
And I don't know if anybody picked that up, but you're saying any 2 pin or 3 pin. So we're looking at like Gen 1 through 5.
Yes.
And then, obviously, if they ever do a 6, we know Glock doesn't change things, so it'll probably work in the 6s as well.
So it works in all the gens, and any 9mm or 40 Smith & Wesson standard frame Glock.
Okay.
It'll work in all of them.
There you go, guys. So it's one item, nothing, and then just configure all your springs.
Yep.
And there's all your springs. There's all the goodies in there.
You get everything included. It takes you about 2 minutes to drop in the trigger.
Well, I tell you what, come, second quarter-ish or so, I'm going to take you up on that challenge and see how quick we can put them in.
Absolutely.
And I want to sell a ton of these things. This is an amazingly good feeling trigger. And I know there's other guys out there that know that there's a certain trigger that I've been really happy with right now in the Glocks, and I have a real good feeling that it's coming out for this guy. Especially being able to just take it out, and if I want something that's a little more, I can just pop it out. You can shoot a match at a real lightweight, and then open it back up, a couple of cranks, have a little bit more pressure for when you're actually concealing it.
Yep, absolutely.
Man, that is awesome. And do we know price points that we're going to be looking at for something like this?
We're in the $250 kind of that range.
Okay, so a little bit more in there, but we're replacing everything about it. And I think once you guys feel this, I mean, there's a reason that people pay extra money for a Geisley. Everybody, you know, people look at it, they're like, well, it just looks like the same parts that are in there. But you put it in there, and it's a totally different ballgame.
Yeah, it's a totally different
This is just absolutely entirely different thing.
Entirely different thing.
That has been done on a Glock, and I'm not a Glock guy, but I really like this trigger.
The intent is, this is going to be like, you know, like you're shooting a CZ or a 1911. You're going to have that same feel of that break and that reset.
And a lot of people say that, and I can say that, like,
it is there.
Like, it is. Like, it's
making Glocks great again.
Yeah.
Making Glocks great again.
We're making Glocks great again.
All right. Well, Matt, I tell you what, man, I appreciate it. Hey, this is the first interview with Matt, so Do the like, do the things, do the shares, all the goody stuff. Tell them that you guys want to see this thing at the range for launch day. We'll be back with more from SHOT Show 2025.